So this week I went around interviewing people, asking them about the main differences between Florence and America. I got pretty different responses from many different people, the majority of which are girls actually, because surprisingly enough, most of the people that study abroad are women. So I'm going to go ahead and let you listen to what they all had to say. After experiencing everything you've experienced and seeing everything you've seen, would you ever come back?
Yeah, hell yeah. This is a completely different world, and it's a world I love. I love being able to walk down the street to the corner store and get, you know, fresh meat and fresh cheese and all these fresh ingredients. And I love being able to go to these specialty shops. And we went over to the artisan area and looked at handmade crafts. And it's a very lively city, and I don't think I could ever go back to the suburbs of Arlington, Texas, and just live the same way. It's impossible. And it's so much more alive here.
What's it like passing all these beautiful buildings every day on the way to class? As an art major.
It is wonderful. I love being surrounded by this type of architecture. I wish we had it back home, and I love how close everything is. I can walk everywhere, and it's just really nice.
Is there anything else you'd like to say about the city?
I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss it so much when I go back home. I wish that we had cities. I mean, maybe we do back in the U.S., but I haven't been there yet. So, but cities like Florence, it's really beautiful.
How do you feel about the homeless back home versus the homeless here?
I didn't really have any issues with the homeless back home. They just kind of minded their own business and played instruments or whatever. I noticed there's two main kinds of homeless here. There's the ones that curl up on the street and don't look at you in the eye. And there's the other ones that chase you around with a rattling cup and demand money from me. They demand money from me. I'm not gonna give them any money. Why should I give you money? Do you have an art? Do you have a skill to give me? No? You're not playing an accordion. I like the accordion guys. The accordion guys, it's beautiful. You know?
I give them money.
Yeah. Alright. And frankly, they're useless here. They're useless. I don't like them.
As opposed to being useful in America.
Exactly. Okay. The homeless back home. Have you seen Golden Boys?
So what's it like navigating through the city here?
It's very difficult, I would say. Every road that you go down, it changes at every intersection, and you can never really find yourself. Whereas in America, you can turn and look and say, oh, I recognize that building, that area, and then you know what direction you should go in. And then if you're lost here, it's like you go up to somebody and they just immediately dismiss you, saying, they don't know any English, and then you're like, okay, well, I just need you to point on the map where I need to go. And then I'm from Texas, everyone's a little bit more helpful, they're a little bit more friendly to approach, and that's just the main difference that I've seen here.
Hi, I would say the mail service here, it's way more slow pace. Like in the United States, you would get next day shipping or 3-day shipping. Here, it's like a month after you send it. So it's just kind of like the patience that you must have when you're waiting for your package or your letter. It should be you should be patient. I would say I like Florence, but I miss the United States just because of the postal service. I need that package as quick as I can because I've been waiting for mine for a month now. So.
I feel like eating here is really, it's everywhere. I mean, everywhere you go, there's gelato literally in every spot, and I've kind of made it my thing where I have to eat gelato on everywhere I see. So I basically eat gelato all the time. everywhere you walk, there's wafting smells of waffles, and it's so hard. I just don't understand how everybody in Italy is so thin, because there's opportunities to eat all the time. There's just food everywhere.
Between America and Florence?
Yes.
Mainly the focus on quality of food rather than quantity of food. My Italian chef teacher for my culinary cooking class is always going on about how we have to use the freshest ingredients and we can't use this because it's not in season, or tomatoes aren't good now, or something along those lines, because they're always focused on getting the best products rather than the most products.
Going along with that a little bit, the way that you can't really get things in bulk, you can't buy so much for your money here, because they're not so much oriented towards efficiency. It's more about authenticity and just, you know, getting something that someone's family business made, whereas at home it's like you go to Costco, you go to Walmart. I remember when I came here I wanted hangers and I couldn't find hangers, and I just wanted to go to Walmart and get hangers, but I couldn't.
What about the girls?
I haven't really seen a lot of Italian girls out because the city's full with like a bunch of American girls, but I mean, a lot of the Italian middle-aged women are extremely attractive for their ages, so I'd definitely give them the up on that one for the woman back home.
Well, the guys here, when I first came and people told me Italians are flirtatious, I mean, I wasn't exactly sure what to expect, but it is way beyond flirtatious. The guys here, I feel like it's basically impossible to talk to them, because when you're out on the street, they literally holler at you at every chance they get, all the time, like, mwah, 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 kissing at you. But then at the bars, it's like nobody talks to you at all. So you don't want to go and talk to them and you're show them the wrong impression. But out in the streets, you kind of have to ignore them, because literally everybody is hollering at you all the time. I feel like it's going to be pretty hard to find someone to date here in Italy, I feel like.
Eye contact is huge. Any form of body language really is absolutely huge. In America, it's all about what you say, how you act. Those things seem to matter. Here, you could say no a million times and it doesn't mean shit if you're looking at their eyes. You have to look away, walk away, maybe punch them, you know? You never know. Whatever is required.
What's something that you can't find in America that you can find in Florence?
Well, I'd definitely say it's not really what I can't find. It's just definitely the lifestyle. I mean, everybody's always out here. Everybody's always active, doing things. Back home, I feel as if the lifestyle's a little more lazy. You know, people stay in the house more. But while we're in Italy, I see everyone's out. Even the grandmothers, even the grandfathers, they're out walking. They're out going to do their grocery shopping. It's just, you know, a completely different lifestyle. And everyone's more alive. Everyone's, you know, more open to you.
Is there a big communication barrier when you go out to the stores, or?
I mean, there is, obviously, but Italians talk with their hands, and I'm Greek, so Greeks talk with their hands too, so, I mean, I understand them, and from the little vocabulary that I do know, it definitely helps me communicate with people.
I feel like people in the U.S. are mostly living in order to like advance their careers and work as best as they can, and that's why all the food is to go and the coffee is to go and everything's to go, because you have to get stuff done in order to go and study and to get into grad school that you need to advance your career and get your job. Here in Florence, no one's working on their laptops, no one's doing homework at cafes or anything, because cafes are places where you're supposed to be socializing with someone else. And people really take the time here to sit with a family member or friend and enjoy the simple pleasures of life, like dining and socializing. I don't think that so much happens in the U.S., and I think that it's not a bad thing, it's just different, because obviously things are really efficient, especially in the Northeast where I'm from in the U.S. Things are really efficient and they get done really fast, and that's a good thing, but at the same time I feel like sometimes it's very stressful to live in that way, and I feel like people here probably don't have the same sources of stress that we have because of that difference in pace.
Well, I feel like if you want to travel back home, you have to really think about where you want to go, and it's always a big hassle. For instance, if I want to go see New York, then it's it's a big plane ride. I have to save up the money. Whereas here, I literally buy a train ticket about half an hour before I decide where I want to go, and it's about 10 years to get there. Just go. You can make a lot more spontaneous little trips. It's a lot more fun.
All right, well, thank you very much.
All right.
Well, thank you very much. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, well, thank you very much.
No problem.
Okay, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I love America.
Do you miss America?
I do. I love America.
That sounds good. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
See one of these gypsies do that.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks for talking to me, Zaki.
No problem. Ciao, ciao.
So I guess the best thing about these interviews is that I got to hear all the different sides of people's experience here in Florence. But the one thing that you didn't get from this video is how I view Florence. In my experience in Florence, I've gotten to view how the Italians cut back on certain things so that they can indulge in other things. They'll live in small, cramped apartments so that they can indulge in other things like food, and they'll conserve energy so that they can treat and enjoy themselves when need be. I mean, an example, if you look at all the electronics, all the appliances around here, my washing machine, which is running right now, takes like almost 2 hours to wash something, but it comes out just as clean as it would in America. As a matter of fact, most Italians don't even own dryers. It was funny seeing some of the people for this project. Some of them rambled, some of them didn't have enough to say, some of them I couldn't even include in the video, but it was nice hearing everyone's point of view.